Okay, 7 a.m. recording this. Once again, feeling amazing ever since I realized the end of my relationship was ultimately not my fault. Um, and everything God was telling me was the truth, and I should have been obedient and listened to Him. But again, I didn't really trust God because I was more so trying to lean on my own understanding, and I was trying to find my own way that made sense. But nothing makes sense without God. So yeah, once again, waking up first thing in the morning, I'm straight to this. And it's because as soon as I wake up, God is the first thing on my mind. And I have so many thoughts, so many things I want to share, and I just want to get them out. And I'm just thinking about them all day, every day. It's crazy how close I am to God. And once again, how much He's given me and shown me. And yeah, I think it just feels good to know, like, what my purpose is the best way to say. Like, I remember I was watching this older guy, and he was basically telling people, like, once you find your purpose, like, you can work any job, right? But it doesn't mean you're gonna have fun working that job. Like, you're gonna enjoy it in your life. It's not gonna fulfill your life. I remember listening to that guy, and he said basically once you find your purpose, that's when you get true fulfillment. And this is mine, right? I remember I used to think to God. I would think to Him, like, I'd be like, God, I'm not an artist. I'm not a rapper. I don't know how to play music. I'm not a football player. I'm not a basketball player. I don't have these type of skills. What's my gift? I was asking God, like, what's my gift? And I knew what my gift was. My gift was I can speak. And not only can I speak, I know the truth. I know what is good. It doesn't matter what someone else says. I know objectively, not subjectively. I never subjectively believe in something for my own benefit. I only look at the world and what is right and what I discover based on what I see, no matter what. So if it's true, it's true. I don't care how it affects me. It doesn't matter. It's as long as it's true. Okay. That's how I operate. And God knew that as well. God knew I was honest in my being. My being is honest. Don't get me wrong, I have lied in my life, and that's because I'm human and I have flesh. But I will say, for the most part, though, I am very honest, and I will tell you the truth. As hard as it may be, I will. And I love that about myself, and I love that God confirms that for me. So I'm going to tell you a story today, a really good one, about me having a good time with God, me having a really good laugh, and God showing me His extreme love for me and showing our personal unique connection, which you guys can also have your own personal unique connection with God because He created you. So I love cutting the grass and doing dishes. And I love doing dishes because it's like a mindless task to me. Like, I don't have to think about it. I can just do it. Muscle memory. And I just enjoy myself. Plus the water's warm and I love warm water. Same with cutting the grass. It's just a mindless task. I'm just doing it. Like, I don't even have to think. When I'm cutting the grass, I don't have to think about nothing when it comes to the grass cutting. Like, it's just my body's doing it. So then I have just nothing but time to just honestly get lost is the best way to put it. So I was doing the dishes one day and I'm in the relationship with my girl at this time. This is when I really believed God 100%. Like 100% I trusted God when I was in my relationship. Outside of that, especially after the breakup and being emotionally damaged, I started a little waver on God, right? I was honestly tweaking out on God at that point, and there was a lot of doubt at that point as well. But back to the dishes. So I'm doing the dishes, and I remember I'm just sitting there thinking, right? I'm doing the dishes, like, again, muscle memory. I'm not even really worried about them. And I mean, I'm worried about them. Don't get it twisted. I'm cleaning my dishes. I like a clean dish. But I'm sitting there thinking about God. And because I thought about God all the time. I think about God literally all the time. He's like 90% of what I think about in a day is mostly about God. And I remember I'm like challenging God, right? Like, not really challenging Him, but it's like I'm playing chess with God. It's like I'm trying to figure out God's plans for my life, and I'm trying to map them out. I'm trying to discover them. I'm trying to like break them down. And I'm just sitting there thinking about that the whole time, right? And I'm enjoying myself because that's who I am. I have to figure things out. Like, so I'm doing what God created me to do. So I'm trying to figure out God's plan for my own life. And I'm trying to map him out. I'm like challenging him. Like, I'm playing chess with this guy. And I remember eventually I stopped doing the dishes, so I stopped thinking about that, right? So now I'm back to like reality, and I'm about to walk away and go do whatever else I'm about to go do. And I remember in the middle of me walking away, I just burst out laughing. And I bust out laughing and I just start smiling. And I was smiling and burst out laughing because that I knew I could not figure out God's plan for me, right? Because he's beyond our comprehension. I knew that. But I also knew God knew me and that he wasn't offended that I was trying to, because God knew who I was. And it made me feel good that I didn't feel bad for being who I was. Does that make sense? God knew, wasn't offended. He's a great and gentle father. He already knew that I was going to do that, and that I'm going to think about those things. I'm going to wrestle with what he tells me, what his word says, and all that. So, I just start laughing because it just felt good. It felt so good for someone to truly understand who I was and not to be offended by who I was. And I just felt love from God, a love that transcends any love that I felt here on earth. And it was probably one of my best moments with God because I didn't plan it. None of that was planned. It just happened. I didn't do anything special. I didn't do anything. I just was washing some dishes and that happened. So yeah, man, like God is real. He's beautifully real. More real than you know, and it's because we're in the flesh. Like it's almost for me, I know personally from my personal experience, it's hard to tap in to know, and I think it's because of where we are. But if you be still, it's the best way to put it. If you just be still, humble yourself, you will find God. You 110% will find God. You have to chill out and stop focusing so much on the world and thinking that the world's going to give you something. We know that the world is bad. Everyone complains about it every day. The world is bad. The world is filthy. And it's because we're constantly focusing on it. And when we do focus on it, it's only going to get worse because you have to low key sacrifice people, sacrifice things, sacrifice love to get ahead in life. But when you focus on God, you're going to get everything, not always what you want, but what you need. And I love that about God. God knows everything about us and he knows what we need. So yeah, tap in with God, please, man. You see how I'm doing compared to how I used to be doing. And that's because I love God and I finally understand God. Or not understand God, but I trust God 110%. I thank you guys for listening. You guys take care and God bless. Peace.